If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai joins us now. Of course, he is running for Senate. He is trying to drain the swamp of Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas. That is who Shiva is going to be running against as an independent. ShivaForSenate.com. Dr. Shiva joins me. Thanks for joining me today, Doctor.
How are you doing, Owen? I just came back from campaigning. You know, we were distributing flyers. We go to the T and we get people as they're coming out. So I just literally got off, so I'm sorry I'm a little late.
No, don't worry about that. I just got done with a meeting with Austin Police, too. So we're both busy today trying to make America great again. Wow. So I was getting threatened in the streets on Saturday while you were being threatened on the social webs. So let's kind of just give a little background here for the audience. So first you're on Twitter, and then it ends up being some sort of a spat between you and Seth Rogen. What happened there?
Well, if people go look at the Twitter feed, Seth Rogen had said some expletives against Steve Bannon. And because, as you know, Steve Bannon's back on Sirius saying that he wasn't going to go on Sirius and basically attack Steve. So when I saw that tweet, look, I've met Steve. He's not a racist. He's not a white supremacist. He's a great guy. In fact, I think he's a great American. So when I saw this, I tweeted out to Seth Rogen saying, hey, look, in my opinion, you're basically a ventriloquist dummy of Hollywood. You think you're a political activist. Let you and I have a political debate. And I, in fact, offered him a round trip first-class ticket to Boston. Because, you know, these Hollywood guys, they want to be treated in a very elitist way while they continually talk about how the rest of the world is so elitist. That's a contradiction. So what was fascinating, Owen, was what he responded. First of all, he did respond. And the way he responded was to put up a mugshot of me of a situation, a minor domestic case that was not only dismissed, but outright dismissed, thrown out of court because of the false claims.
Is this the same one? Is this the same one they tried to use against you like a few months ago?
A few months ago, and this is sort of what they do. You know, I've endured this before, Owen. You know, when I fought corruption, when I was in India against the Indian government, they said I was a CIA agent. When I exposed Gawker Media, you know, they said I was a liar for the invention of email. When I exposed Monsanto, they called me a fraud. So you know, this is sort of the process you go through when you fight. But what's disgusting about Seth Rogen is he thinks he's a defender for women's rights. And he put this out there to act as though he's defending women's rights and exposing this guy. So I hit back and I said, look, it's a great picture, by the way, and I'm going to continue to fight back. And by the way, this thing was outright dismissed. So his followers got quite frustrated with the fact that I basically disarmed them. And the response to that was racist slurs and saying that they were going to blow my quote unquote ass up, which is essentially a death threat, which, by the way, we've gone through the Belmont police and they've started an investigation. So, you know, when I got that death threat, I tweeted back out to Rogen and I said, hey, look, you know, it's unfortunate one of your followers is behaving like this. This is not what America's about. You know, I'm paraphrasing. Let's still have our debate. Now, you would think a guy who so cares about, you know, sexist matters and so cares about, you know, people of other color, that he would repudiate this guy. Silence, crickets, Owen. And that's what's disturbing. And that's how these guys behave, right? On the one hand, it's all about PR value. They have their publicists, their lawyers, all trying to present them as people who are vanguards for women's rights and vanguards for people of color's rights, when what they actually do is to take advantage of that. And that's what's so disgusting about this. You know, and by the way, since that went out, I've gotten, you know, messages, in fact, from people who worked with Hollywood with this guy. They say, you know, this guy's one of the most perverted people that they've ever met. When they hang out with him, the comments that he makes is a factor of 100 what they attacked Donald Trump on. That's who Seth Rogen really is, and that's what this industry is really about. And if you look at the larger part of this industry, Hollywood's fundamentally a caste system. They have people above the line and below the line. Above the line are the DPs and the production heads and the stars, and everyone else is below. They practice one of the most elitist caste systems in Hollywood, and that's what he's part of. And if you further look at it, this guy's not said anything against Kevin Spacey, nothing against Harvey Weinstein. In fact, there's nice pictures of him with him. So that's a level of hypocrisy. And furthermore, Owen, if we actually did a civil rights analysis of Hollywood, by the way, which now they want to do on Silicon Valley, and we looked at it by race and religion, not only of Hollywood, but of the media, the mainstream media, we'd probably find some of the biggest civil rights violations. And so the larger context of this, Owen, for me, it says not only would I consider, A, I'm an American, came here with nothing, worked hard, went to MIT, 4 degrees, started 7 companies, I'm part of the American journey, is the insidious part of this is that the real racists and the real sexists are in Hollywood, but they portray as though they're against all of that. And what I find relative to my campaign is this is why these guys get along with Elizabeth Warren, because she fundamentally herself is a racist. Think about her. She talks a good game, wanting to help people of color and minorities and poor whites. How did she get into Harvard? She used race. She basically took advantage of race. And then when we expose her, how does she react? She calls President Trump a racist as though he's using racial slurs. These people are masters of using race and sex to their benefit. And everyone listening out there, you got to understand, you're looking at a guy who came as a low-caste Indian, grew up with nothing. And I'm telling you, women and people of color, that Hollywood is the biggest racist, sexist enterprise on this planet. It's a Sodom and Gomorrah in many, many ways.
Yeah, I've got the same intel as you on Seth Rogen. In fact, I don't know why this guy still gets on Twitter. This guy must get so high on whatever drugs he's using that he forgets the last dumb thing he did on Twitter yesterday, so he gets back on the next day and does something even dumber. I mean, he's had, I'll just leave it at that. But the amazing thing to me is when you're talking about Elizabeth Warren, I was getting fired up over Governor Cuomo of New York in the last hour, because here's the thing with these people, Shiva. They're so fake. They're so fake. I mean, that's literally it. These are the fakest people in our country. They say these things, they virtue signal, they pretend to care about minorities. It is all an act. It is all an act to these people.
Complete act. And if you look at what these guys do, they use race when it's to their benefit. They use sex. I mean, the entire industry of Hollywood, if you talk to people, as you're moving up the ladder, it's not unusual to one day, they'll invite you to their big mansion parties. You'll end up with, 5 or 10 guys you're sleeping with. True stories I've heard. Then take pictures of this, and they'll use that to blackmail you. So they use race, they use sex as they need it. I mean, what's really disgusting is a friend of mine just said to me this. I don't know if you can see this. This is apparently Seth Rogen potentially going to be put as Walter Cronkite. Think about this. Walter Cronkite, when I remember, he was actually probably the last person with some integrity in the media. Rogen is going to portray him, and this is all part of the way that these guys build their brand around their fake actors, fake Indians, fake fighters. And what's really good, Owen, is that people are waking up to this. And that's what's great about Trump's win, about what Bannon's doing and what we're doing here in Massachusetts. We're going after these guys because Americans believe that they deserve something better. We want a country that's truly based on independence, innovation, integrity, and integrating ideas from all different places. That's what my life's been about, Owen. Everything I've had, has come through good old hard work, which is what this country is about. And that's what we need to get back to. And I'm telling you, the Hollywood military industrial complex is as filthy as they come. They're truly the evil. And it doesn't mean, good overcomes evil. We got to fight this, Owen. And it's not going to just happen overnight. And we need to fight these guys. We need to street fight these guys every step of the way.
I agree. And that's why I applaud you for making a big deal of this guy death threatening you and then calling out Seth Rogen for his fans and him not saying anything about his fans death threatening you. That's why I'm trying to raise awareness to the Austin Police Department here locally that, hey, we got a bunch of thugs in masks with weapons out here trying to intimidate people. So we had to fight back. And that's the thing about us, Shiva. We got better things to do, bro. I don't want to spend my time trying to wipe some baby's ass, all right? I got stuff to do, but that's what we have to do now. So Antifa's going to poop their diapers. Seth Rogen's going to poop his diapers. We're going to have to clean up the diapers and throw out the trash with it. We'll be right back.